Panel. Speakers: Mark Lesnick, SEO Ticonderoga Ventures. Richard Wikström, founder, Internet Vikings. Eugen Platon, SEO Manager, Guts.com. Aitan Gorodetsky, SEO Manager, Katina Media, moderator.
Hello everyone.
Have some fun.
Good afternoon. I'm really happy to be here, very honored with my panel. I want to say thank you for coming to this SEO panel from all over the world. We have from Sweden, from Israel, and from Malta. So I want to introduce the people with me. Eugene from Guts, Reichert from Internet Vikings, Mark from UTail, right? Coming from the States?
Yeah, UTail.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do a really nice panel. We have 3 topics, main topics. They are the search results evolution, link building on a high level, and on-site versus off-site. I want to say that the 4 of us, we are enterprise-level SEOs. We have probably multiple clients, thousands of websites. We deal with a lot of different employees. We do different strategies. And what we really want to actually explain to you today is the way how to think on an enterprise level, okay? So we start with the first topic. It's mainly today, on-site versus off-site. Where do you spend most of your time?
So in these days, I think both sides, on and off-site, are equally important, to be honest. And of course, the on-site optimization is more straightforward. You basically optimize your website. You prepare for crawling. You prepare for improving the rankings. You create a very nice and good on-site optimization, and later on you start with the off-site and off-page optimization. That is a more ongoing process. So in my opinion, both are important, but the difference is on-page optimization is mostly one time, and off-page is ongoing process.
Yeah, I agree totally with that. And on-page has been a lot easier the last 5 years. And when we started like 10 years ago, there were no fancy tools. WordPress was really bad at SEO. You had to have a lot of plugins. You had to set nice title tags by yourself. But nowadays, Google are a lot smarter and can read websites much easier. So I would say focus more on the off-site, because that's where you can get your real advantage over your competitors. Then on-site, everyone can do that nowadays, and there's like really great tools to like monitor your on-site, to work with your, so you see that no content writer or anyone in your content team or in your SEO team have done something bad with your on-site. So that's, I would focus a lot on the off-site part.
Yeah, it's a matter of time and expense. At the end of the day, it's time and expense. So, you know, you have only so much bandwidth you have with your staff. You have only so much bandwidth you can do. Obviously, you know, your own site's going to be, that should be your key priority. And then anything else that's off-site, you know, then that's if it's worth it and monetized to be of value, then do it. But otherwise, obviously, your main focus is your main core of your business.
What do you guys find that is more effective? If you produce, let's say, your focus will be 70% on off-site, link building, PR, management, reputation, and you will spend 20 to 30% on on-site. What will the biggest impact will be end of the day?
I think in these days, and speaking from the operator perspective, I think the technical on-page optimization is more challenging, and especially with the casinos, operators that are using single-page application, for example, or for all the people are listening us, more advanced frameworks using JavaScript technologies. It's much more challenging. So you can spend a lot of time fixing this, making your website crawlable and indexable. So the content part of the on-page site is, again, is quite straightforward. You have to find the right people. You have to create the nice content for your visitors that will convert. And yeah, afterwards, you have to fix this technical challenges that are more into the operators. From the affiliates perspective or from the small websites perspective, possibly you don't have these challenges.
Yeah, I think personally saying, coming from the affiliate point of view,
Yeah.
at the past, affiliate sites were a bit more simplified. Today, we have sites that have tens of thousands of pages. We are becoming a bit very, obstructed by these huge websites. But I totally agree. What do you guys think? Do you want to add something about that? About the focus?
I mean, for me on site, I analyzed this years ago. I mentioned it at Sigma a couple of years ago. Look at big companies, and I'm not just talking about, I'm not just talking about any of the gaming companies. I'm talking about big companies, Walmart and Tesco and guys like that. And then look at how they're structured. And so I saw that, for example, they have a server for their images. They have a server for the CSS. They have multiple servers. So I went to my tech guy and I'm like, listen, can we just, without buying a new server, can we add an IP to that server? And can I make a subdomain, img.whatever.com, and css.whatever.com, and each one would have its own IP? And therefore, when Google looks at it, they'll think, we're this big company with multiple servers. We have a server just for CSS. We have a server just for our images. But it's really all the same machine. And so it works.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So let's move on to the next topic.
Yeah.
You want to add something more?
Yeah. One more detail when it comes about on-page optimization. We saw in these days that the organic results are more rich, let's say, and we have to pay attention to how we implement a schema.org that will make the results richer, and to implement to have on the results page, for example, rich snippet, or we can have ask question boxes that are very, very important in increasing the click-through rate and at the end of the day, the conversion rate.
Yeah, that's exactly the next topic, is the evolution of search. We know that the true #1 result is no longer valid. We don't get the 70 to 80% click-through rate if you're #1. It has changed completely. Last research I saw is 30% of traffic goes into an answer box. How do you guys tackle that? We have thousands of pages. We have traffic flowing from different, I would say, traffic resources in Google. You have from image, from video, from an answer box. How do you tackle that?
So let's not forget that now we have 4 ads on top of organic results that will cannibalize more our organic traffic. So what we have to do first is to improve the rankings, if it's possible, as the result 0 or the result 1, having or being sure that we will get a good amount of traffic. So, guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
I know Mark is
I'm
super
gonna go on a
keen,
tear. I'm
to
going to
say
scare the
something.
crap out of you guys. I really am right now. If you're ready to be scared, get scared. All right, so here's the bet. How many of you guys have droids? Show of hands. Really, show of hands. I mean, don't be afraid.
What was the
2 of
question?
you guys? All right. How many of you guys have iPhones?
Oh.
All right. Most of you have iPhones. Very interesting. All right. You can't do this on an iPhone. Well, you can. They have Siri. But Droid came out with something called Google Now Launcher. I don't know if you've heard of it. They're really not even marketing it, okay? When they came out with it, it was in January. I found out about it in March. In March, they had 800,000 downloads. Okay, it's a Google product. By the end of the summer, they had 10 million downloads. I checked yesterday, 100 million downloads. What does this thing do? It's like Siri, but I'll show you in terms of search how it works. Okay, Google. It's probably too loud in here. Okay, Google. What is Texas Hold'em?
According to Wikipedia, Texas Hold'em is a variation of the card game of poker.
You guys hear that? Oh, you can see the screen there?
Yeah, you can
All right.
switch. You can
So
switch the screen.
what it did was it read from Party Poker. It read rich snippet from Party Poker's website. That's the result. Now, I played with this thing, okay? It gave me an audio result. And you start playing with this thing, you start realizing one thing. You don't want to look at the phone anymore. You want to talk to it. You can ask it what's the current stock price of something, or the weather, or whatever. You can ask it anything. It'll answer you, okay? It's getting better and better, and it's giving more audio-based results. What I notice is a pattern after 2 weeks of playing with this. I don't want to look at my phone anymore. I want to talk to it, like Alexa. And that's what Google's doing. They're making something called Google Assist. You can look it up. It's no joke. Forget Alexa for a second. This thing's got 100 million downloads already. Their AI is going to be killer in a very short period of time, if it's not already killer now. The important thing from SEO, it gave me, from an audio level, 1 result. Not 10, 1. That should scare the crap out of you. If you're number 3 on Google, you're dead.
Okay, Mark.
Sorry.
I'm not so scared.
You're dead.
To be
No,
honest, I'm not so scared.
This is 5 years down the pike. This is
Let
not
me
gonna be
explain
this year.
why. Let me explain why.
Okay.
So, guys, indeed, we are moving from the multi-result age or era to a single result age. It's totally true. But still, guys, for the single result, we are going to have more of the very strong intentional selling keywords or branded keywords, but still for keywords that are related to the research and to find something that we are looking for, but we are not sure about that thing, we are still using the search and as it is, and we are still open the phone, we are still open our laptop, and we are continuing to search and to browse.
No. I'm not saying it's
for
going
the
to go.
second page.
I'm
at
certainly
least.
not saying it's going to go away. What you guys are doing right now, your SEO, it's going to be working. Gartner said, I think it was 2019, 11% of all search will be non-visual. Non-visual. 11% of all search. That's Gartner. So I'm saying you're fine for now. What I learned with your business is you need to see things coming down the pike. And the guys that make the millions, the affiliates or whatever, they see those things coming down the pike several years in advance. Start taking advantage of it now. What I did see is the winners have rich snippets on their site. Party Poker had a rich snippet on its site. That's how I got the information. The scary part for Party Poker, even though it was an audio result, I didn't go to Party Poker's website.
Yeah.
They took the information from Party Poker's site. If I wanted more information, I'd have to click on that. So there are some issues there. There's going to be some digital right management issues.
I think
But
that
this is long term.
I think
Mark, when you get an audio result, do you actually can hear it or you have to read
Yeah.
it? So you can actually hear it,
Yeah.
but then actually you still need to go into the website. So I mean, from a casino point of view, from a gaming point
Yes.
of view,
Yes.
I don't know how players are going to adopt that.
No. But my point is, okay, so from affiliate standpoint, if it's, I want to play poker, okay, yeah, I'm going to be doing, or I want to take a look at the latest Lamborghini, yeah, I want to look at the screen. I get that. But if it's like, you can type in, for example, how to concatenate in Excel. And actually, Google's already doing this on visual. They give you the answer, how to concatenate in Excel, without having to go to some website to do it. They're actually taking the data from some other website, so that website loses its traffic, loses its advertising, everything. The issue on audio is, for the affiliate, is a lot of you guys are like, how to play Texas Hold'em, how to do this, how to do... Sorry.
But
You
that's
know,
like,
where to play is different. How to do things or the informational, that you may lose on, because Google will now have that information. They'll be taking it from your website and putting it up there.
but of course, but that is mostly for like informational
Yeah.
queries. Like
Right.
if you look at the commercial queries, like Google have a setback with the Google Shopping because the EU ruled against it and fined them with like 20 billion or 2 billion, so it was
Yeah.
a huge amount of money. Because Google, like the interesting things is where you need multiple results is where can I buy this TV? Where's the cheapest TV? Where
Right.
can I buy a
Good,
Samsung
good.
phone?
The
so
camera's
on.
gone,
And
but-
that kind of,
Okay, Google.
but in that kind of results, you want different, different
LHR to
answers
JFK.
because you have like, maybe you want to go to Walmart, maybe you want to go to Amazon, maybe you want to go to a local shop.
You can't see it. I don't know if you can zoom. Right? If you can zoom, maybe.
No, it's coming.
It's
I
coming,
did
that's right.
LHR to
Yeah.
JFK.
No, it's
LHR to
really-
JFK. Google has its own travel engine. That's the results. You mind if I get up? Sorry, so I could see where. Just go ahead, zoom in.
Yeah, but that's,
So that's the
only
results.
with a
Wait.
flight.
That's Google. I could buy right now on Google. With Google Wallet, I could buy right now. Oh, where's Expedia? Oh, sorry, I screwed up. I just went to Google.
We agree that they completely...
Expedia's below that. Travelocity's below that. E-commerce, I was at an e-commerce conference, IRC. They said, look, the two behemoths that are going to be competing themselves on e-commerce is going to be Google and Amazon. Those are going to be the behemoths. When you go shopping, you're going to be shopping at Google. Google's going to have Google Wallet. By the way,
but Google, the EU will go against it. Like, the government will go against it. What happened with Microsoft like 20 years ago?
With the audio, where's AdWords? What the F happened to AdWords?
They're going to find a way. They're going to find a way.
No, it's going to metastasize. It's going to die. And how they're going to make their money is Google Wallet, because Google Wallet is going to. That's going to be the bigger thing. They're going to make more money off Google Wallet because you're going to do your shopping for that. That's what's going to happen. That's the long-term future from what I see from this. If you don't see it, that's fine.
But I don't think that will happen, because there will be a lot of powers going against it, because you can't have one monopoly. It's like Microsoft 20 years ago when the EU and the US tried to split Internet Explorer and Microsoft, and you couldn't have Windows
imagine
with...
for a second, and again, I'm sorry taking you outside the gaming business, but imagine you're the CEO of Travelocity. Would you not be shitting pickles after what I just showed you? I'd be scared shitless. I'm sorry. I'd be scared out of my wits going, hey, wait a second, what's going to happen to what's going to happen to Travelocity and all those companies and Hotels.com? Google's going to get the first result, and it's Google's engine. It's there.
Can we find some ways still to improve our rankings and our organic results, making our results more rich using schema.org, using answer boxes? How we can do this to improve our
the thing is that we adapt, right?
The winner in that is the rich
changes
text.
all the time. Search changes all of the time. You have to adapt, but how do you adapt to something that is not here yet?
What I've seen so far is, again, that rich text to the rich snippets. Because what you saw in the results, and again, Google now wants, like I said, just go ahead and download and play with it, okay? You'll see, again, rich snippets, rich snippets, rich snippets. They're grabbing these things all the time, and that's the top result. So, yeah, you want to have those on your site. That would probably, getting them earlier, I imagine, might get you to the top. Another weird thing, again, I had a conversation with a whole bunch of people in California about this, and another guy who does $2 million a month on Amazon. He was scared. I showed him this. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. He was scared out of his wits. He said in the next couple of years, his e-commerce is going to decline by at least 10% of revenue because of this alone. So he said, all right.
But that's the affiliation, and that is what, like marketing. We are doing arbitrage in one way or another,
right,
and we are trying to do it in another way.
The bigger opportunity on audio is an audio handoff. So in other words, I do a search on audio. I ask it a question on audio, and now it's going to hand me off to another site that's going to speak back to me. And I think, again, this is just a theory, Google might prefer that. Because you're asking a question in an audio sense, and you want an audio answer.
You want an audio result.
If I have an audio answer, and I can handle the site just like they handle the site, and I can handle the site in an audio answer, I might be able to grab that traffic.
So actually,
and then I can tell them whatever I want. I can tell them what I want, not what Google wants.
So actually matching the way how you search with the kind of result you get.
Right.
For that, I would make sense.
Yeah, but then you're already doing that with the mobile. If you're searching with mobile, they're favorizing.
But we also see it in iGaming.
Yeah, but it's just an evolution.
We see it in iGaming when people search for even in plural. Okay, so there's a big difference between searching for an online casino or online casinos. The results are completely different.
Right.
So they already know the match if you're looking for a bonus or are you actually looking to play. So we've seen it. We've seen their evolution. But I can tell you that mainly, maybe because you come from the US, you see stuff that are much more advanced than how we see them in the UK, in Finland, in Norway, in Sweden, and so far. It is not that advanced in that sense. It might take years.
What I was saying is this is down the pike. This is really coming down the pike. For gaming, for what you guys are doing now, I wouldn't be scared. I'd be like, all right.
I think that the first step everybody should take in consideration is optimizing more for natural language and real questions, rather than keywords, rather than short tail keywords that we used years ago. So optimizing your pages, your content, and making it relevant to answer to the searcher question is a very, very important aspect, and is a very, very important tool, you can take it and use it for your strategies.
Along those lines, have any of you guys added like chatbots to your site or played around with chatbots at all? No?
No,
It's
not
been
yet.
growing. I noticed
Yeah.
also in the last year, chatbots has just exploded. From what I've seen, it has some growing pains still to go, but that seems to be also the next kind of thing.
I still
And that
think
answers that.
It's a good signal
that
if you
handles
have in actually engagement on the site, on the page itself, and
Right.
the user not just comes, clicks, and that's it.
Right.
It shows a good sign, better intent, better engagement. I think it works. This is why we see much richer results with video embedded in the page with an infographic, and then eventually the chatbot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, basically, from the guys that I know that design chatbots, basically you're taking all the text of your site and you're putting it in the chatbot. And so I'm asking it a search or writing a search, and instead of going to an FAQ page or surfing around your site, I'm actually just asking it, it's giving me the answer. So that's where I see the convenience level that people are going to migrate more to chatbots. I don't know how well it will do from an SEO standpoint, whether or not Google will